Hey guys, welcome back to Void's Blitzarre adventure. We're up to chapter 17, which is going to be a short one. And I know this because I am doing post commentary again, because that's less exhausting. So apparently we're deeper into Donatiri territory to find Kaga. Personally, I've never had trouble finding Kaga at all. I just get on Discord, get on the Fire Emblem subreddit thing, and there's a Kaga era channel right there, but Void apparently needs to look for it. So I look over the map and I'm like, let's have some sort of first reaction here. My first reaction is this map is vertical only. And then it's like, hey, it's a Draco zombie. Oh, it's Leon. Oh. Okay. Well, this is gonna take some prepping, isn't it? I'm not too scared because we've already had a chapter where you pretty much cannot beat the boss and he just ends up teleporting away, so I assume the same will be the case, but it does look kind of scary. And just for fun, I looked it up and there's no way to hurt this boss with what I have. I can do maybe like 4 damage to him. And then there's these guys and they can pass through my guys. Phantoms, kind of like the guys you summon. And then there's a bunch of monsters, but they don't look very strong. So yeah, time to do some preps. Okay, so I did my preps and I'm ready to go. And suddenly this Anna starts talking to me about treasure, of course, because Anna has so many character traits. But I'm looking at the map and I'm like, who is this Anna talking to me? I didn't bring the Wyvern one, but I brought the Swordmaster one, but this one looks kind of different. So I'm like looking at these enemies, wondering where she is, because I'm assuming it's like an NPC. Then I figure, whatever, I'll just start moving my units. I brought Bob for the treasure, because you gotta bring Bob to get your treasure. I have a couple chest keys, but I'd rather conserve them. So I just start using my mounted units to ferry around my foot units. Foot units aren't too useful for this map other than Jerome, who has the boots. Not even Beat. But I have just about enough mounted units to get people around, so it's all fine. And then I notice, hey, there is an Anna here. I did actually get a new Anna. And this one is like the Awakening one. She's a rogue with a bunch of interesting kind of thief-like skills. Despoil, arms, thrift, bunch of cool stuff. Even Acrobat, which Celicia is totally broken with. Her stats look okay, but that strength is kind of low, even after the rally strength that I gave her. But she has some cool equipment and a really good luck growth, apparently. It still caps at 30, so it's never going to be a reliable arms thrift, but it will be pretty cool if I do decide to use her for combat. At the very least, I will be using her for thief duties instead of Bob. That much I can promise. But yeah, I decided to kind of hurry up in this map. For one, because it doesn't look too complicated to do so. Also because if I have to take on Leon, I'd rather not deal with plus 15 avoid from his skill, slow burn, which gives plus 1 avoid and I think plus 1 hit for every turn that has passed. And I also don't know if there's going to be any reinforcements, things like thieves going for the treasure. There are 2 treasure chests to be taken. And since there's not too many enemies, I figure I can get away with rescuing like half of my army. And if need be, I can always drop them. And Jerome, of course, is probably my best unit right now. Maybe tied with Celicia, because Celicia does have better 1-2 range, but at the same time, Jerome has rally attack and kill force. But Celicia has acrobat, so I don't know. Either way, these mouth dogs are a total joke. They not only have low HP and defense like in vanilla, but they also just get doubled by some people. Like their speed isn't even that impressive, so not sure what they were supposed to do, but they definitely don't deter me from going fast. In fact, the 1 HP phantoms are a bigger problem because they have pass, so they can go through my units if I'm not careful. And in addition, because they die in 1 hit to everything, because they're 1 HP, if I'm ever swarmed by a bunch of phantoms, then I can't really rely on them not dying on enemy phase to keep myself safe. Like, if you're facing a really strong enemy, if they're durable enough, at the very least, they will be in a way because they don't die. And that way other enemies sometimes cannot access you, but In the case of phantoms, they will always die, so I'm actually more scared of a bunch of phantoms than a bunch of monsters. Some of these enemies don't even move, or don't bother moving. There's phantom reinforcements here. They come from the stairways, so I figure I want to keep those at bay. I want to get caught from behind. So I'm just gonna get rid of them as soon as they appear. As long as I'm outside of range and killing them as soon as they appear, they pose no threat, because if I'm killing them in one hit, what are they gonna do to me, right? So I'm like, let's kill the spider, and then I'm like, wait, you have 72 HP, that is too much. I can't kill that. So I'm kind of curious if he's like a really high level, but he's just level 3, but apparently he's promoted, so it's gonna take a while to die. I think I missed an opportunity to rally my guys here, but it's whatever. He only has Poison Claw, which isn't too threatening, and he doesn't move, so again, it's just a roadblock. It's not really something that's hindering me. So I'm actually gonna bait this Phantom, I think. I'm gonna use someone with a sword just to make sure I don't take a hit. By the way, these lava tiles, or things that look like lava tiles, they haven't damaged me all chapter, so one of the reasons I brought Bob was to disable them. I never made use of the mechanic in FE8, but I thought I might here. But apparently they're just decoration, they don't do anything. Which is sad, but I guess they were really only adding tedium, so it's whatever. And I'm trying to figure out where Jerome should go, and I guess I figured the best part for him to go is the other chest room. Clear up some space. Apparently he one-rounds this spider with a steel lance, which is pretty impressive. Oops. Decided to keep this chest key, even though I plan to send Bob there just in case Jerome has to open the chest. I figure reinforcements are going to keep spawning, so maybe it won't be safe for him. Not sure. Just keeping my options open. And there's also, I think there were reinforcements coming in the throne room, so that is another incentive to hurry up. At least this chapter got that right. It gives you some incentive to hurry up, although not enough in my opinion, but that's something I don't really need to discuss right now. We're not in map design 101. Point is, I think it's better than last chapter, and I greedily sent away my 4-use iron lance and instantly regret it when I end up trying to use my steel lance and missing in the process. So Jerome basically wasted both of his turns right there. Meanwhile, trying to figure out what the best way to get this guy out of my way is, and I decide let's just have Anna do something at least. Because I think last chapter she didn't do anything. Almost anything. And that was with her being around twice. Okay, but she crits with like a 75% chance to crit 1 out of 2. So I'm happy. And here, check the supply, and I've got 1 door key. And I figure why not just go for it. Mark her in front of the door, and either I'll open it next turn or I can open it this turn by using Cilicia. I really like the supply convoy that the lords have in FE8 and in this game. It's pretty powerful, but it doesn't really feel broken having access to your items when you need them, you know? And then like, wait, these guys are pretty strong. I don't think I can enemy phase all of these without her rallied defense. So I'm not trying to figure out how many hits she can safely take. I conclude that it's not 3, so I can't just send her in the right, because I think she gets 3 hit KOs, so I think I'm only gonna have her face 2 by standing near the entrance. But I'm just making sure. Counting squares. This chapter's kind of glitchy graphic-wise. There were some issues during the intro, and you can see right there. But when I mouse over Anna, trying to figure out where to go, or Cilicia, that there were some more graphical glitches. So circles, if you're watching, that might need some attention. There's a graphical glitch near the end as well. Maybe that's just part of the corruption of Kaga or Leon or whatever. Maybe I'm just not in on the joke, but it did seem like an issue. Yeah, as you can see, Cilicia almost dies here, but not quite, because I calculated, I did the math. These guys, I think they all have silver axes, so even Jerome gets damaged. Like, it's not gonna die anytime soon, but shouldn't be able to just get wrecked here. Jerome missed there and got hit. It was fine. I had a physic, unlike Cilicia, and on bead, so it's all fine. Need to send someone disposable because I figure I'm going to block the reinforcements. from spawning by standing on the stairways. I kind of want Jerome to come closer so that he could help out with Leon if that was needed, if I somehow had to kill him. Because Jerome can both rally attack and do some damage, maybe, very big maybe. And Anna procced Arms Thrift on her first and only combat of this chapter, so that saves me killing edge use, I guess. And with my main squad, I'm just going to move in and kill as many phantoms as I can. Trying to figure out if there's a way to make this as safe as possible. I get a rally, and I think this is the only rally that Reed does this chapter that actually matters, because the one in the beginning was obviously terrible. And here I'm like, yeah, I'll just kill a couple of them, and then if there's only like 2 or 3 around, then it's not a big problem. Ark can get a good heal in on Celicia to make sure she can take another hit. I don't think she can take 2 from this range. Maybe she can. Not quite sure. I'll get a rally in because we need +4 attack when we're dealing with 1 HP enemies, right? I'm this close to attacking with Void, but not really. I'm just checking the damage they do to her. And I figure that she can't really be exposed to a bunch of them, but if I kill enough, then I can use Void to bait one of the phantoms towards her. They have pass, so it's pretty easy for them to get to her, but the ones at the stairways, they cannot get to her. So I'll use Void to lure one of them away from my more vulnerable units. And that way, I think Celicia and Kirsten are pretty safe. I said earlier I thought that Celicia would get to a KO, but I'm actually not sure. But Kirsten ends up dodging, and that basically makes the rest of the turn RNG proof. And this way Void gets to pretend to be important, which is something she's very good at. So more dudes keep spawning. The guys near the stairways, they actually keep spawning even though you're blocking the stairways. So these are like the kind of reinforcements that walk in towards the screen rather than the ones that just appear on a certain tile and you can't block them. And here I realized, hey, I didn't bring a lockpick. That was dumb. So there was actually no point in bringing Bob at all. But I do have the chest key to get this treasure, which is an amazing door key, which I guess is only useful if you like get Anna killed. I don't know. Because you're guaranteed to have a room on this map. Anyway, you gotta kill this guy, see what's in the chest. I figure I might find like a legendary weapon to attack Leon with, and go figure, I get the Nidhogg, which I cannot use. But then he says ga, roar, ga something, and some more graphical glitches, and he vanishes. So bye Leon. And suddenly this chapter isn't looking so hard anymore. I mean, the chapter was never hard, it's just the boss. I was looking like a dick. So we'll get a couple more points of XP, and then we'll seize the chapter. It's pretty short and sweet. I don't know if it's not my favorite or anything, but it's at least it's not very tedious, right? And it's pretty original. So yeah, that's this chapter. Beaten in 6 turns. Complete LTC. See you guys around. Bye.